Hello student, today we are going to discuss the factors causing the mental disorders. So in terms of epidemiology, we all know there are 1 in every 8 people in the world live with a mental disorder. So there is a huge burden of mental disorders in the world, and mental disorders are defined as a significant disturbance in the thinking, emotional regulation or the behavior. So mental disorders represent underlying brain dysfunction that results into the significant disturbance in the thinking, emotional regulation, or the behavior. So we all know the medical disorders. For example, tuberculosis, HIV, malaria are classified or defined on the basis of biomedical model. So what is the biomedical model? Biomedical model means there is a one biological factors and that leads to the medical condition. Example, tuberculosis or HIV. So there is a one biological organism that leads to that condition. So for non-communicable diseases, this conceptualization is not applicable. So we use the biopsychosocial model, which was proposed by George Engel in 1977. So on the basis of this model, for non-communicable disease, including the mental disorder, are due to the various biopsychosocial factors. So this model is based on having the biological factors, psychological factor, and social factors. So what are the biological factors that leads to the mental disorders? So the biological factors includes age, gender, genetics of that person, physiological functions, hormones, drugs, diet, and alcohol. And psychological factors includes beliefs, emotion, resilience, coping skill of an individual, behavior of an individual, intelligent quotient of that person. And social factors include the poverty, school environment, family relationship, different cultures, work environment, trauma. So these are the social factors. So interaction of all these factors leads to the uh, either the mental health or the better mental health or the mental disorders. So in person with mental disorder, we have to assess all these factors together for improving the outcome of an individual. So the assessment includes the biological assessment, psychological assessment, and the social assessment. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss the biological assessments. So prior to that, we should have the knowledge about basic sciences like neuroanatomy, neurophysiology, neurochemistry, and neuropharmacology, on the basis of which we will be able to understand what are the different modalities of investigation that we are going to use so that we can screen or diagnose the person with the mental disorders. So we all know there is a gene in every person and there is an environment. So gene environment interaction occurs in terms of stress, drugs, inflammation, or diet, and these genes or genetic susceptibility or environmental susceptibility or genetic variation can be screened with the help of sequential epigenetic analysis. So this gene and environmental interaction produces the certain effects, molecular effects in the cell, and that can be diagnosed with the help of certain neuroimaging techniques like PET, SPECT, or MRS. Then these cells together have the effect on the different systems in the brain like dopaminergic system, mesolimbic system. There are certain serotonergic systems. So, and that leads to the anatomical and functional circuitry changes we can screen or we can able to identify on the basis of DTI and fMRI. Then these system related abnormalities or the changes results into the certain behavior or the domains of function or the pathology which we usually assess on the basis of our clinical skills. So that will be the cognition, social behavior, motivation, and sensory processing. So these from gene to cell to system to behavior, all these are the linked with each other. So the assessments includes Neuroimaging, we have already discussed. Then genetic testing, that is, there are different types of genetic tests that are available. Then endocrinological testings like thyroid hormone, prolactin hormone levels. Then there will be the cortisol estimation. Then toxicology screening, for example, lead, copper. Then medical tests like a common medical test, CBC, then random blood sugar are useful. Then drug monitoring, that will includes if we are prescribing certain drugs, that then drug should be monitored at the regular level. So in class we will discuss all these biological factors and their assessment. Thank you very much.